Let's learn something really quick.
If you got the time, absolutely. And you got the discipline, there's no question about it.
I love that. Yeah, that's a great practice to put into your everyday life, you guys.
You generally regret the things you don't do, not the things you did do. Let me say it that way.
Mic drop. This was just awesome. I love meeting my guests in person, and it's a whole nother animal, and the energy is just electric. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. As always, bringing incredible guests from all over the world, so sit back, relax, and tune in. My next guest is an award-winning film and voice actress. She's also the writer and producer of Kate Hugo, Murder After Mayhem. Please welcome Elizabeth von Isser. Elizabeth, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to have you here. You shared with me how passionate you are about where you are in your life right now and why you wrote the film that you wrote. So before we get into talking about the film, which you guys, by the way, very well done. Very, very well done. I was super impressed. I watched the trailer, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Can you please share your feelings about why you wrote this movie and what led up to it?
Well, I am now 65 years old. So I've been acting professionally about 10 years. And as the years have gone by, my opportunities have gotten less and less. And any opportunities that did come across for me were always for the elderly cancer patient.
You don't look like that at all.
Oh, thank you. Or the silver-haired grandma who sits in the rocking chair. And I started, just getting frustrated with the lack of opportunity. And I thought, I'm already 65. If I'm just going to sit here and wait for something to happen, I'm going to sit for a long time.
Yeah.
So I decided to write my own content.
Yeah, no, I love that. Share with us a little bit about what that feels like, that experience of being a woman. And clearly you're stunning. You look great. You look like you're in great shape too. So this label of women in their 50s, 60s, 70s is really is unfair, I feel like. And I don't think that we should be put into that category when we are still so vibrant and are living such a full life and have so much to give.
Right, I agree. I think as society, I think we typically have the opportunity to label each other right away based on, without even knowing anything about that person.
Yeah.
Based on their age, based on their gender, based on their religion, based on any number of labels. Thank you. I mean, we all do it, and I'm sure I do it too. But the entertainment industry, I think, is especially bad at that, and make the assumption that basically any woman over the age of 40 is no longer interesting, is no longer capable of portraying anything but, the mature grandmother with a couple lines here and there. And I just don't agree with that, and decided to try and do whatever I could to change that perception.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't agree with that either. I think that, it seems to be changing a little bit, slowly the needle is moving, because you're starting to see women that, some of our favorites that have been around for a long time, that are in their later years, that are getting some roles, are getting movie roles, and they're doing a great job. And for me, that I love seeing that, because that's reality. Yes, we want to go to the movies and we want to have this this experience, but we still have to live in reality and it has to be relatable, right? To kind of live in that fantasy world when you're watching a movie. And so I love it when I see some of that diversity come across the screen. I love movies. I've That was something I used to do with my father when I was little, and I collected them for many, many years. When on DVD, now you don't have to do that anymore because everything is streaming, right? And so, as we go back from the 80s to where we are today, I think there has definitely been a lot of movement towards accepting women in these roles that are later in life, which I think is good, but it's still not where it needs to be.
Well, I think that needle is moving slightly, but I think primarily only for, name actresses, A-list actresses. And while that's a good step forward, I'm hoping that this film will help show that there are more actresses out there with the talent to carry more meaty roles.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I like that. So tell us a little bit about your inspiration behind writing the film. Like, what was that moment where you're like, that's it, I'm just going to write my own film, my own script. And then obviously there was the next phase of producing it and acting it and all that. But let's start from the beginning. Where did that inspiration come from, and why Kate Hugo Murder After Mayhem?
Well, like I said, I was a little frustrated, but at the same time, I happened to be reading a book called The Pinks, which was all about the female Pinkerton detectives way back in the 1850s. And I had no idea that there even were female Pinkerton agents back in the 1850s. And that I thought was very inspirational to me, that if these women way back then could step into a very male-dominated role and do an excellent job, that was very inspirational to me. And one of the case studies that I was reading about was so unique and was solved in a way that was so out of the box and creative. And I thought that would make a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
And so the plot of my story is actually inspired by that true crime
Oh, wow.
that was solved back in 1858, I think. So I had to create this world where technology was no longer available. There's no internet, there's no cell phones, there's no email, that kind of thing. But it actually takes place in the near future, after a massive geomagnetic storm sort of devastates the Earth's magnetic field and wipes out the satellites and all that kind of stuff.
Wow, very cool. So when did you write the story or the script?
I started about 2 years ago.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And the script went through, oh gosh, I've lost count of the number of revisions, probably 40 some revisions. I'd never written a screenplay before. I have read lots of screenplays. And so I relied very heavily on other screenwriters here in Tucson. I'm in Tucson, Arizona, and worked with my director, who helped sort of really refine the script and help me through that. And I started submitting it to some screenplay competitions. We won some awards, and I thought, okay, this is good. I think we need to make a movie.
That is awesome. I love the story. Is the movie complete?
We are in post-production.
Okay.
So we have our principal photography is finished.
Okay.
It's edited. We have what's called a picture lock that's with our composer. And even though it won't be a finished product, I'm actually headed to the American film market in November to pitch it to sales agents and distributors and see if I can find someone who's willing to help us cross the finish line and get it into theaters first, domestically, internationally, and then streaming.
I love it. Very, very, very cool. Like, just amazing. Did you ever think that you would be producing a movie?
No.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
It's been a learning. Every single day has been a learning experience.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, every single day. So it's been a lot, but I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's good.
And so how long did it take you to film the movie? It's all the content for the movie, I guess. All the different
Yeah.
scenes. Because you do it in sections, right?
Yeah, you do it by scene, not anywhere even close to being in order, which is challenging. But we had a 16-day shoot schedule, and we've got 11 cast members, and we had about 25, a little over 25 crew members. They were all primarily local, primarily Arizona or Southern Arizona. So, yeah, we brought our actors in from LA. That was Will Roberts, who was General George C. Marshall in Oppenheimer. So we brought in from LA, but everybody else was local.
That's amazing. How'd you get funding for this? Because that has to cost a lot of money.
Well, that has been absolutely the biggest challenge. And I think you would find that that's the case with every filmmaker. We had to keep our budget under $300,000 because we went SAG ultra low budget. So we can't go even a penny over $300,000.
So what exactly does that mean? So just so the audience knows, and so that I know too, because I've never heard that before.
Well, SAG is Screen Actors Guild.
Yes.
And we had particular actors that we were interested in that were union actors. And so in order to be able to hire them, we needed to get the SAG signatory and follow all their rules and make sure that we were able to pay all of their actors.
Okay.
And so it added a level of complexity, that's for sure. But raising the money's been difficult, and we actually have a shortfall right now of about $50,000. So, I'm still beating the bushes. Yeah.
I love it. You're not giving up and you just keep pushing forward. What was it like to not only write the screenplay, act in it, and produce it? Like that has to be, I can't even imagine. Like my brain is going like this.
Well, I'm kind of surprised I didn't have a nervous breakdown, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you never know what you're capable of until you like your feet at the fire.
Right. I forget who said it. Women are like a tea bag. You never know how strong you are until you're put in hot water.
Yeah.
I forget that, but it's true.
Yeah.
So it was very challenging. I had about 90 pages of dialogue to memorize. And at the time trying to deal with all the logistics are crazy, and try and raise money at the same time. So yeah, it was a lot. I'm ready for a vacation.
I bet. It's business, right? But in a way that you're creating something as an artist. So
Right.
you have to be able to go into that role as an artist, but also be very business minded around everything that's going on so that you can get to the finish line. I know myself, not at that level, but it's difficult to like kind of find that balance with all that because it can get really heavy.
It can. And I feel like I'm very equally left-brained and right-brained.
Okay.
My original career was in engineering. And so I think a lot of those organizational skills that I learned and, used as an engineer have been, useful in this particular role as well. Yeah.
Oh, sure, for sure. And so this is more like an action movie, right?
It is a crime drama murder mystery.
Okay.
I wouldn't put it in action,
No.
but it's more like a whodunit. I like to say, if you think of Knives Out meets The Book of Eli meets The Sixth Sense, it's sort of
Wow, I love it. And how long is the movie in total?
107 minutes.
Wow. Okay. Dang, girl, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, we're gonna have to put that trailer in here. So you guys stay tuned. We'll either put it at the end or somewhere in the middle here. So what's next in this process? So now you're going to the film, what did you say, in November, which is very
The American Film Market, AFM. It is where, deals are made. And so I'll go to AFM. Never been there before. Never pitched a movie before, but I'm taking classes. I'm getting advice from people who have. I'm trying to be as prepared as possible. then when I get back into town mid-November, I'm actually starting to film another movie that I wrote.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Oh my gosh. I absolutely flipping love it. What do you hope to accomplish by really kind of pushing that needle? Like you're pushing it all the way forward and really kind of breaking through some barriers.
Yeah. Well, I figure, the older you get, the more you really start thinking about your own mortality. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, I don't have time to wait for someone else to create these opportunities for me.
Yeah.
So darn it, I'm just going to do it myself, and yeah, and just keep putting one foot in front of the other and see where it'll take me.
Yeah. I love it. The one that's coming out that you have the trailer for and the new one, have you hired on other women of the same age?
Yes. Now the Kate Hugo, I think our youngest actor is probably in her 40s.
Okay.
So I tried not only to provide opportunities for other women
Yeah.
who are older, but also crew. It was very important to me to hire as many female crew members as possible.
Yeah.
So we had probably, well, close to a 50-50 split crew-wise too. So, yeah.
Amazing. Do you want to share what the next film is about, or is that a secret?
Oh, well, it's a slightly shorter film. I'm working with a filmmaker I've worked with before. His name is Avai D'Amico, and he has a series of mysteries that are like 45 minutes long
Okay.
that are go directly to streaming. And so this one is sort of a mystery thriller.
Very cool. I love it. Elizabeth, can you please tell the audience where they can find you, connect with you, and support you? And if they're just tuning in and they're not watching this, where they can find the trailer?
You bet. So if they go to katehugo.com, katehugo.com, they can learn all about the film. They can see the trailer. They could donate a little money if they want. And also we have a newsletter that keeps people informed of our progress. So if they'd like to sign up for that, that's great too. I don't send out too many, but keeps everybody interested. Or they can also go to elizabethvonisser.com, and it's got all my social media contacts there too.
Excellent. You guys, I'm going to put those links in the show notes. So if you connected with Elizabeth, want to learn more about Kate Hugo, go click those links, go support her, go follow her on social. Like, she's really breaking some barriers here and being an example of living label free. So we love it. Elizabeth, this is the part of the show where I like to ask for last words of wisdom or advice. What would you like to leave with us today?
I think what I would like to leave with your audience is don't wait. Regret the things you don't do more than the things you do. And if you have a passion, follow it and don't wait for permission.
Yeah, I love that. Amen to that. Well, Elizabeth, thank you so much for sharing what you're doing and being an example of what can be and not what we're told we can't be. You know what I mean? And I think that's super important, especially in today's world when we have so much going on around us that is so negative, to be a positive example of just going forward no matter what, and just like, just taking the world by its horns and saying, I own you. I'm going to do this. I don't care what you say. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. As always, don't forget to subscribe, follow, rate, review, comment, share, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.
The following information is part of the National Emergency Broadcast System. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is reporting imminent danger to all major cities around the world from what they're calling a coronal mass ejection event. All residents are instructed to shelter in place.
I'm FBI agent Kate Hugo. When the world fell apart, I was assigned to a special task force. Banking is no longer digital, and I watch over every bank in Arizona. There have been a series of small-town robberies, and during the last one, the teller was murdered. There are several suspects, each with motive and opportunity.
I'm going to do everything I can to find out who murdered Mike.
I'm sure we can agree on one more week. How can I help you, Sheriff?
I was hoping that you could increase my credit line.
We need to talk business. Thank God you're here, Sheriff. This is all my fault.
Trust me. I have a plan.
Jesus, Liz, Sheriff Ward.
Noticed anything unusual?
Is that you?
Do you believe in life after death?
He told you that.
I'm going to bring Michael Brown back from the dead.
He's right there. Can't you see him?